Okay, so this might be a quick one. I just want to talk about the social climate of things, the United States social climate of how we are as a country right now. First world problems and stuff like that. I'm not really going to get too much into it, but basically, um, how do I say this? All right, so as the other videos or podcast episodes or whatever I've said in the past, um, I'm just gonna kind of like dip into different areas of it, but just try to bring it all together as one, as a complete like thought. But pretty much, I'll start with the usual, the black issue and stuff like that. So, like I always say, black people in America have become the villain and the victim at the exact same time, or the victim and the assailant at the exact same time. It's weird, and you know what? I don't care how this sounds. I will cast the blame out of different like groups of people, like these white liberals or just people with white guilt. They are fostering this issue because, and also at the same time, it's kind of actually a demeaning thing. It's I mean, if you, it's kind of still racism if you think about it, because they are letting black people not take responsibility of the issues that they cause. Yeah,
That's crazy though when you come and think of it. So a lot of this white guilt are just something that a lot of these blacks are making white people feel a certain type of way for the condition of the black community, which is really black people's fault.
Yeah, it's kind of a everything has multiple sides to it, but yeah, in that kind of way, yeah. But also the fact that I don't think like some black people are purposely like Black Lives Matter and people who associate with that. They are like one of the big people that like make you feel guilty. Like they have like a huge Hummer of guilt tripping. Like they load a bunch of people in their big ass vehicles for a long ass guilt trip. That sounds really corny, but whatever. I'm gonna go with it. But not all black people, just certain black people, and then just certain white people just automatically feel guilty for some damn reason. I don't know why. And at the end of the day, just us, not even I don't even know really. I don't want to say at a certain point, but it just doesn't make any sense. But also, social justice warriors and stuff like that, they try to, and not just black people, but just the transgender group, the gay, lesbian, whatever, like any group that are not white and straight, they like certain white people feel guilty for some reason, even though in a way they didn't necessarily cause a crime. Like if you want to, and even if you want to take it back to slavery time, the people that are living right now did not like literally cause that problem. You know, you may say some of them are benefiting off of it. Arguably, that's true and false, whatever, or some mixture of it. But directly causing it, no.
I don't think black people really understand what's going on, what happened in slavery. Because number one, only a fraction of the slaves actually came here. Majority of them went to the Caribbean and definitely to Brazil. Only a small fraction of slaves actually came here. It was probably less than 1 million that came here. Or maybe somewhere in there, maybe 100, 200,000. That's it. And not only that, most of them was bought by people who was wealthy at the time. The majority of the whites in this country during that time could not afford slaves. It was just too expensive.
Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why it was going out of style before the Civil War happened.
You know, having slaves was too expensive. Not to mention, Britain was the first country to turn against slavery. So not only it was real distasteful from the start. And we went through a lot of brutality over here, yeah, but majority of the slavery slavery did not happen that long over here in America as people make it seem. Most of them didn't come here anyway. I mean, slavery was going on for a pretty good while, you know, in the Caribbean and in the Southern Hemisphere before it came to the Northern Hemisphere in America. Not to mention the trans-Saharan slave trade. So if you put all those slave trades together, the ones who probably had it the easiest might have been the ones in America.
Whoa, I don't know. You know more about this specific situation, so I'm just gonna go off your lead, and
I'm just saying that. I mean, if blacks actually sit down and look at history, like who you should be mad at. I mean, number one, you should be mad at your own people for selling you as slaves in the first place. So that'll take it back to Ghana. No, you should be more mad at them, especially when they come over here and look down at you like,
whoa, that's true.
Up. You come here looking down at me, but your people sold us, your own people, into slavery, and you looking down on me.
That's true. Well,
as if your stuff's together.
True, but I understand why they look down on us because we have this opportunity that most of us aren't taking advantage of.
That's true. I understand that too.
So for that specific reason, yeah, they have a point.
Mm-hmm, but if they want to, if Ghanaian want to start talking too much, especially a Nigerian, I'm like, don't let me put you in your place, because I'll let you know, like, you came over here, I ain't go over there.
That's true.
Like, number two, how much money do your country owe a European country?
Man.
Like, how much you in debt for? Like, don't let me, if you Ghanaian, don't let me bring up the Ashanti Wars, because I'll let you know you lost all three of them. Like, still feel like talking?
Oh, man. But yeah, but that's a good question, good statement about the slavery thing, too. And just overall, it's, I'm not trying to water it down at all. I'm just saying, like, it's the way I see it for the white guilt, and then I'll probably move on to the next thing, is it's like when you watch, it's like when a regular person watch a, what is it, the meat packing videos of why you should not eat meat, and then they automatically just like switch straight up to vegan, which I'm not gonna lie, I switched to vegan for like 2 weeks on accident. I didn't eat, I was just afraid to eat meat because I got someone made me unfinished grilled chicken sandwich and I had food poisoning. That's the only reason, because I was out of fear. Not because the animals were suffering, which I feel sorry for the animals, but
I mean, a lion will chase down a gazelle. We feel sorry for that when we see
no, it? And that's again, that's not a part of our nature, and I guess it's that goes into a bigger topic of stuff. I think we briefly talked about that before, but not even getting into that. Yeah, I accidentally became a vegan for like 2 weeks, and I stopped because I was actually feeling kind of weird. But anyway, but going back, but that's how I see it. I feel like all these like slavery movies and civil rights movies and hardship. And again, I'm not trying to water it down. I'm just saying I think that's how a lot of this white guilt, for the good reason, came about. But for the bad reason, now I'm going to speak about that. The phrase "purse puppy" was coined by, like I said in the last video, by this guy called Diversity in Comics or something like that.
Purse puppy.
Yeah, I told you about it last week.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And pretty much that's kind of that's basically a slap in the face. That's even worse than like the stereotypical redneck or the stereotypical Republican person or whatever, right wing, whatever. That's worse, because at least like Bill O'Reilly would come straight to your face like, hey, pull up your bootstraps and work for your shit, stop being on welfare. At least he'll go straight to your face. And which at the end of the day, he's being like truthful. Mm-hmm. Even though, whatever, I'm not going to talk about his face, but about what the stuff he does, but he's talking directly to you about your shit. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's right. He's right about that situation. So people like that, yeah, at least they'll come straight to your face. Purse puppies, they'll take the responsibility away from you. Like, you're like, oh, you're just poor and disenfranchised. You don't know any better. Oh, it's okay. And they'll give you a bone, and then they'll take away the bone if you don't agree with them. And that's how it is. It makes you treat you like a pet compared to.
That sounds like democracy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that sounds like Democratic Party to me.
That's what. Thank you. Exactly. That's the reason why I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican either. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, people always get on Republicans, especially black people and Hispanics, always get on Republicans, calling them racist and evil. And at the end of the day, at least, at the very least, even if they were, at least you know they are. Democrats are secretly racist, secretly
they the worst type
tearing you down.
Yeah, the thing is, what black people don't know that the vast majority of blacks were Republicans after slavery, including Martin Luther King. He was a Republican.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, but they don't want to come out and admit to that.
Even your great master, Abe Lincoln, he went for the Republican Party. He won. He was the president of the Republican Party. In the Republican Party. Like,
so basically, a Republican president signed the Emancipation Proclamation after all that
to free the slave, quote unquote, and stuff like that. Yes.
So most of the Democrats, you're gonna find them probably waving what? Confederate flags.
Possibly, or just it's not a Confederate flag. I'll say more of a flag of banks or something like that. Because we know Democrats and that money. I mean, granted, both Republicans and Democrats with money. Like the whole system is based on money, which makes sense. Like you're in a business, so you are in a business to make money. But yeah, just like but yeah, the Democrat issue, it's the fact that all these years. Well, I'm gonna say what I just said. I had to come back to this, whatever. The phone call happened, but anyway, like I said before, like I started to say before the phone call happened, is for the Democrat thing. A lot of black people, and I would even mention some Hispanics, some Hispanics. Well, I'll say, all right, some black people and some Hispanics and some non-white people will say that, vote for Democrat, whatever, but it will help us out and stuff like that. But for one, to start off, first of all, no people should be depending on a social system, especially the government, to uplift your people and change the way of the life of the people. It's there to back us up and stuff like that, and keep us safe from invaders and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's for one. Just putting that out there to start it off. Like, you guys should not be depending on a damn social political party to bail you guys out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, even if that's the case, even if you have that mindset in mind, how many times have a Democrat in recent years, maybe let's say the last 20 years or so that there's been a Democrat in the White House, has it changed? And especially in the 20 years, especially 20 years when the black community has been getting worse and worse, has that helped change? It hasn't. That's where I'm going to leave that dramatic pause right there. It hasn't. And like I said, especially in the last 20 years, when the black community has been getting worse. Yes, it's been getting worse, and there's been several Democrats in the White House, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And you guys are always pretending like Bill Clinton didn't do shit. He was a good guy, and I've heard when I was a kid, everyone was like, "Oh, Bill Clinton's the first black president." What? Just because he can play the sax? Just because he likes thicker females? No, you guys are ridiculous with that crap. Yeah. So, and then move on to the next topic. I guess it's similar to it. It's in the same breath as like I said before, the LGBTQ and now I know ABC group, whatever. It's kind of similar to the whole black. As much as I hate when they compare the black struggle to their gay and whatever struggle, it's not the same. It is similar though. I will agree with that. It's similar. So they do this, like liberals or white guilt or whatever have you. That they do something similar or the same thing. They take the responsibility from that person that they deem unequal, and they try to pass it on to other people, other people, other white people, anybody who don't follow in their brain of thinking, and try to make it our fault that stuff is happening to them when it's not really. It's not our fault either at all or indirectly our fault. And again, that's the purse puppies thing. Again, it's from Diversity and Comics YouTube channel. He says that it's a true thing. So, and they just treat them as a black person like pets, that we don't really need to take responsibility for our actions, and that they have our back up until we start disagreeing with them. Which I never really agree. Well, that's a lie. I agree with them when I was way younger, but I really didn't know that much about the stuff. Another thing with the social climate is right there is the fact that we have all these pointless wars among working class people, and it makes no damn sense, because at the end of the day, yes, everybody gets up either in the morning, at night if you have a night job, or afternoon job, or what have you, to go to work and make a living for themselves, their significant other, or their entire family. And it's just, we have these pointless differences in this country that is keeping the rich rich. At the end of the day, I will say it's a reason why the rich people are rich, or wealthy for a reason. It's smart. Because for one,